optical art.
Okay guys, so I'm going to cover some important support and resistance levels to pay attention to. I'm going to kind of show you my outlook, what resistance levels I'm watching to get above before I re-enter. I'm out right now. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to cover a few things, and also we're going to cover the image in the thumbnail about Bitcoin dominance in the US dollar. But this is a video I put out yesterday. I said Bitcoin price dropping. I think we were at support for a pump. I gave you two support levels. This was one I was telling you to pay attention to, 54,019. If you notice, we did come down. We found support here. Let me put a little arrow here so you can see what I'm talking about. So right here we found support, and when we were pushing up, you know, I was in profit, and I'd made a tweet. I said right here, this is 9 hours ago, I said, load up a C1 chart, pay attention to the blue 21 daily exponential moving average. I went ahead and took my profit, so I'm off to bed. Again, my Twitter is private, by the way, guys. So, and this was the chart. Again, I have a few charts up here, so bear with me. So, as you can see, this is what I was talking about. This is the 21 daily exponential moving average. So, I took my profit just above this. It seemed like since it was support previously, it was support, almost found support. So, since we're below this, this could be bearish to potentially have more downside. So again, that's one point I'm watching to see if we get above, and I'll come back and give you price targets. I just want to show you what I'm watching, what I'm looking for. So let me go through this. By the way, guys, if you do want to access these charts, the website's opticalartcrypto.com. The link will be pinned in the first comment and description. For $39 a month, you get access to all the Bitcoin charts, altcoin charts, precious metal charts. You get access to our Discord right here. Everybody here shares charts, trade ideas, trade setups. You get well alerts, shows, you know, when big moves are transferring to exchanges or out of exchanges. So there's a lot of useful information, and everybody's friendly here. So if you have questions about trade setups or what exchanges are using leverage, everybody's very friendly and helping each other out. And again, you get access to my Twitter, which is private. But again, if you do want to access it, guys, I do have tutorials teaching you how I create these charts from beginning to end. I narrate the whole thing, and I do have stocks as well. So just click on subscribe, look at the different options. So let's get into this, guys. Let me show you what I'm watching. So first of all, let me show you this chart right here. So this was the pattern that we were in. If you watched that video before, I said it looked like we were topped out here. This was at around 59,492. I said it was likely we would come down. You know, we came down, we found support on this moving average here. This is the 200 exponential on the 2 hour. We pushed up, we came down. Notice we dropped. We found resistance here. So, you know, going by that that exponential moving average, the 21 daily, that matched up completely. So when we were pushing up, and I saw that we were getting rejected right here at the bottom of this, and guys, this is a fib channel. This has been here way before price got here. You can see how price has been respecting this trend line right here. I just have the white trend line outlining the fib channel. But since we were coming up on resistance at this fib channel line here, and because on this chart we were at resistance at this 21 daily, it told me, hey, you know what, probably take my profit. Like I said, I wanted to take my profit. I would have set a stop loss, and I would have got stopped out, and then I would have lost out on my profit. If I stayed up all night, I could have bought down here and then rode it back up and, you know, made a couple more $1,000s. But again, I don't want to lose out on profit, so that's why I took my profit before I went to bed. And I'm glad I did. It did drop. It would have stopped me out. We're almost back up where we were. But again, I'm just showing you it is about making profit. But let me show you what I'm watching to see where we get above and on these different charts. And keep in mind, I know these charts, I have quite a few Bitcoin charts, but if you load up each chart, you understand how they work, where your support and resistance levels are. It can kind of help you make safer trades or know when to get in, when to get out. So as I said here on this chart, this was support right here at 54,000, you know, 20, around there, that area. I don't know, my mouse is dying on me, I think. So around 54,026. So you can see what happened. We pushed up, we found support, we dropped below it, notice we found support on this ring, we pushed up, and now this is resistance. So for me to re-enter, I'm waiting to see if we get above and hold support and push higher. There's other charts I'm watching as well. So according to this chart, your resistance right now is 54,500. If we get above that and hold support, you know, maybe I'll get back in. As long as we're below this, I think it's possible we're coming lower. According to this chart, your next strongest support is 52,631. So that's what I'm watching right now on this chart. So let me go to this one. So again, like I said, as long as we are below, this pattern that we were in, we probably just broke down from this pattern. I was waiting to see if potentially we could get back in it and continue on until we push to the upside or the downside. But since we're below it and this is now resistance, this seems bearish to me for possibly potentially going lower. And this also ties into the DXY and dominance, which I'm going to cover in just a minute. So this is another chart, guys. I don't load this chart up a lot. Sometimes I have a chart archived, but I leave it because later on you'll notice how price will respect it later on. I mean, this chart goes back a good ways. I created this on 3/21/20. So, but you can see this right here. This was support. We came down as support, resistance. This is a ring actually. Resistance. Pushed above it, came back down as support, resistance, support, support, support. We broke it, we came down, and then now this is resistance. So this is another chart showing, hey, before I can get bullish for more upside, we need to get above 55,190. So multiple charts showed me, hey, probably take my profit and let's just see what happens. If we do push up on this chart, this ring will be temporary resistance at 56,419. But again, I'm just showing you why I decided to get out and why I'm cautious right now. So this is dominance. I have this on the daily. I just want to zoom out, show you the bigger picture. This dominance chart has been dead on accurate. You notice we came up as resistance, support, found support, resistance, support, drop down to the next one's resistance, perfect support here. Resistance, resistance, support, resistance, guys, it goes on and on. You can see how accurate this has been. Came up as resistance, support, topped out up here. So let me put this on the 4 hour. I just want to show you, it's not infallible, but you can use Bitcoin dominance to find tops. So you notice I have this marked off. This is the 3rd of January 2021. So I have this marked off on this chart as well. So back here, so you can find tops, guys. I mean, this is one way that helps me be more sure about whether to take my profit. So if you notice, this was January 3rd, 2021. Price was at, and we also we hit resistance. We had 2 lines of resistance, and we had this ring. So we were 34,889, and again, this was on the 3rd of January, right? So if we go to dominance. Right here, this is the 3rd of January. This was a top right here. We topped out right at this ring. If we go back to this chart right here, this was, we were just above resistance. This was the 14th of January at 39,233. Let me get rid of these. So if we go to dominance, you can see right here, this is the 15th of January right here, 15th of January, we were right at resistance right here. And you can see, this is the 15th of January actually, right here. We were at resistance with dominance. We were at resistance with the Bitcoin chart. So this is likely a point to take profit. And guys, this drop right here, this was a drop of 20%. So that's, I mean, that's a pretty good drop right there. This drop right here from this point to the lowest point before we push back up was almost 30%. So I'm just showing you how you can use dominance to find these potential tops. And right here, this was also, this is the 13th of March right here. Notice we were at resistance, actually perfect resistance. Let me zoom in a bit. You can see we hit this almost to the tick right here. And again, the 13th of March, and you can see right here, the 13th of March, that's where we topped out, started coming down. So from this point, we were above resistance, but this drop right here was a total of, that's a little over 14%. So what I'm getting at is you can use dominance to find tops and bottoms. If you need to be at resistance, dominance needs to be topped out, but it's just showing you how you can find these, it at least points to potentially take profit. And again, I'm going to cover dominance. We're going to look at some other charts as well. So on this chart, this is what you need to pay attention to. So notice this is the 200 exponential moving average on the 4 hour. Let me put an arrow here. So this is the 200 exponential on the 4 hour. This blue moving average is the daily, the 21 daily exponential moving average. So these are your points to watch. See if we get above 55,086. And if we come down, see if we break around 52,789. And as I told you before, if we do drop, your next support level to watch is going to be around 51,150, and then you're going to have very strong support at this white ring. And guys, the rings work just as well as the fib channel lines. This was resistance, support, resistance, 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 got a pump. So very likely, if we continue down, we could find support right here. This would be very strong support. So this just covers that. So if we do push up, according to this chart, your next strongest resistance above is going to be up here around 61,458. Let me go back and see. I'm going to give you some targets, guys. Just pay attention to the targets. If we do start pushing up, if things start looking bullish, your next strongest resistance on this chart is going to be up here at 58,850. Let's see. We covered that one and that one. This was dominance. Keep an eye on dominance, guys. If dominance continues down, typically that's going to be bearish for the price of Bitcoin. So right now, your resistance to watch for dominance is right up here. I mean, we have this trend line that we've been respecting right here. So that trend line here is around 61.4. If we get above this trend line and we get above this next resistance level, which is around 61.29, guys, that would be bullish. If we push up above this, find support, go higher, dominance up, the price of Bitcoin up. Your next major resistance for dominance is going to be up here at 62.29. If dominance continues down, your next support for dominance is down here at 60.36. If this holds and pushes up, you're at support with Bitcoin. This might be a point you might want to put in a long. Obviously, if we break this and we drop down to this is actually a fib channel line we'll respect as well. So again, if dominance continues down, I'm saying that the price of Bitcoin can come down as well. So that covers that one. This is another chart. I'm going to give you some price targets on this as well, but I do want to cover the dollar index. So guys, this is what I was talking about. This was our resistance, support, came down, we dropped below a little bit, with resistance. We just broke above this resistance. So this is actually pretty bullish for the dollar. It could come back down, test the top of this before pushing higher. I do think the dollar is bullish overall. I'm going to show you the more macro chart that shows this. But as the dollar is pushing up, guys, remember, the Bitcoin's a hedge against the US dollar. Dollar continues up, Bitcoin's going to come down. If the dollar tanks, you definitely want to be in Bitcoin. But again, it looks like the dollar is bullish. It has been pushing up. We've already pushed up a total of, from the 25th of February, we're already up about 2.76%. Keep in mind, that doesn't seem like a lot, but that can have quite an impact on the price of Bitcoin. So imagine if we push up 10%. This is kind of the more macro. If you have access to the charts, this is under BTC related. And this is just to show you. So again, this is the 2nd of January 2017. This is 22nd of January 2018. So this is about a year right here. So you'll notice that the dollar dropped from this point. This was up here around 103. Started coming down, moving down this falling wedge. At this point, it started breaking to the upside. So the dollar dropped 14.90%. That caused Bitcoin to push up 2,500%. But notice when the dollar started pushing up, the dollar pushed up 10, almost 11%. Bitcoin dropped 83%. And over here, you can see the dollar, when it started coming down, right? Dollar was dropping, Bitcoin was pushing up. So the dollar dropped 13.24%, Bitcoin pushed up 1,474%. So what I'm getting at, if you look at it long term, if the dollar continues to push up, and you can see we're already coming up from this falling wedge, and you can see Bitcoin's kind of topped out and going sideways. So if the dollar continues to push up, it is very possible that we might be topped out and ready to come down. I think a lot of people buy in. People have been used since back here in our COVID crash, right here on the 17th of February. I mean, Bitcoin has been, the gains have been insane. So people buy in, expecting it to go higher and higher. It might get to a point we could potentially be topped out. I'm not saying we have to be, but if we are topped out, people buy in. They think, okay, well, I have my stop loss set, down below. We'll end up pushing up higher. Well, if we are topped out, we're going to start going lower and lower. So again, that's why I'm only trading. I'm not staying in. Again, it's about making profit. But what I'm trying to point out is if the dollar pushes up 10% and Bitcoin comes down 83%. If the dollar pushes up another, if we come up here and test this is the next resistance above. But if we push up another potentially 12 point, almost 13%, the last time the dollar pushed up 11%, we had an 84% drop. So we could potentially have, another 80% drop, guys. An 80% drop. If we just match last time, 83% would take us down to around $9,000. I'm not saying that has to happen, but it's good to have these charts. It's good to look at the bigger picture and just know what's possible. So let's go back to this. So guys, pay attention. If you do have access to my stocks charts, this is your next major resistance to watch for the DXY. So if we continue to push up, again, what I'm saying is you can use dominance and you can use the DXY to find points to long and short. So if the dollar is going to continue to push up, that's bearish for the price of Bitcoin. Once you hit this point, if we get rejected, come back down and test the top of this, you would want to be long on Bitcoin, because when the dollar is dropping, Bitcoin's going to push up. Once you hit this point, if we find support and push up, you want to be short on Bitcoin. So again, I'm just showing you the bigger picture here. So you can see right now Bitcoin is pushing up. So these are some targets to pay attention to. This is on the B1 chart. So right here is your next resistance on this chart is 56,587. Your next strong resistance above that is 57,357. Your next major resistance above is, well, this is right here, close to 60,000. Your current support on this chart is around 54,535, and your next strongest support below is going to be down here around 51,731. And I do have targets lower, guys. If it got really bad and we had a major drop, the next strongest support I can find on the B1 charts down here around 48,000. I don't want to take too much time in this video, but I do want to see if I have a matching target. So 48,067. So the next strong support here is 52,631. This is 50,900. This ring. Okay, guys, and I want to show you that this orange fib circle. Let me get rid of the MACD and RSI. So notice this orange ring. We've been respecting this pretty well. Even the smaller rings, resistance. But notice we topped out at this orange ring. We came down, found support on this orange ring. Pushed up, found resistance. We pushed up, rejected at this orange ring. Rejected. Support, resistance, dropped down. Notice we found perfect support. So again, what I'm trying to show you is when you use the charts and you look at different charts and you look for matching targets. On this chart that I just showed you right here, so look, and I was saying this white ring is going to be very strong support. It was, forgive me here, it was very strong resistance. Support, resistance, got a pump. And it just so happens, if we start coming down, right here is a target that price is going to respect. Just like I showed you these orange rings. When we come down, you will find support on this white ring here. That target is 48,493. That matches completely with this next orange ring below. So, and that's what I'm showing you, how you can use these different charts and look for matching support levels. So if we come down, a likely point to enter would be 48,894. Let's go through and let's see. So that chart has 48,494, and again, this right here, this is 49,883. So I have multiple charts showing that it's very possible that this would be very strong support if we continue down. And some of these I need to add some fib channel lines to it. Your next strongest support down below on this one, I mean, this is all the way down here at 44,000. But again, what you do is you go back and you need to update some of these. But what you do is you go back and you look and see how it was tested. So if we go back, you know if we drop down to 44,600, this is going to be strong support. If you go back, again, I didn't plan this video too well. I'm just trying to show you that lines can be respected going way back. Let me put this on a larger time frame. I mean, we've been pushing up so much, we have to come all the way back here to see where this was respected. And it was respected, guys. And that's what I say, go back and see how many times a line was respected. Let's just pull this all the way back. Actually, we could go back even further, but this support level has been respected back since the 25th of May 2017. I mean, look at this. It was support, 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 resistance, support. And over here, you can see right here, it was a lot of support right here. Support, 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 resistance. This is when we dropped from 6K down to 3K. And notice, not only that, we're respecting this fib channel line here as well. Let me draw a line so I can show you. So this fib channel line here we've been respecting. So you got fib channel lines in multiple directions. This is why it's good to always refer to different charts. But notice we came up. It was resistance. We did push above it a bit. Notice this fib channel line here was resistance right here. We pushed up. It was support and resistance. Came up, perfect resistance, and we started finding support and resistance on this fib channel line. Pushed up to this one as resistance, support, resistance. So I give you charts to look at price in different ways. And then we were pretty low we were way down here. But notice when we pushed back up, it was resistance, and it was support, resistance, resistance. Then we got above it as support. So that's why I'm showing you, why particular fib channel lines will be very strong support. I've got drawings all over this. So again, I'm just showing you if you drop below those support levels I gave you, then hey, it's possible. Let me make this larger. So it's possible, look, if we drop lower, you know that 44,888 is going to be very strong support. If it's out here, it's 45,396. So again, I'm just showing you how you use these charts to find out where your support resistance levels are. And again, I am watching to see if we get above 55,160. If we do, then that's bullish, because this line right here is resistance. As long as we're below this, I'm bearish for more downside. If we push up, if we push above this point and hold support, I will buy in to potentially ride it up higher. Until that happens, I'm bearish for more downside. Not to mention, the dollar has been pushing up, guys. As long as the dollar is pushing up, that's bearish for the price of Bitcoin. And as long as dominance is coming down, as long as dominance continues down, that is also bearish. I'm waiting for a break, for dominance to break above this point. That's when I get bullish. I'm waiting to see if we get above this current resistance right here. If that happens and I start seeing the dollar also come down, guys, that is a point to go long. Until that happens, I'm going to remain bearish. This might have a little bit more downside. Do pay attention though. I do think this ring will potentially send us up higher. I didn't think we'd break out this soon, but it does seem likely we could come down and test the top of this before pushing higher. Again, I'm bullish on the dollar. This ring, if we continue sideways, this will be around the 29th of March to the March 30th. But guys, that's pretty much it. Again, if you do want to access these charts, the website is optimalartcrypto.com. The link will be pinned in the first comment and description. For $39 a month, get access to Bitcoin, altcoins, precious metal charts. You get to follow me on Twitter, and you get access to our Discord. If you are subscribed, make sure you send me an email through the contact page. I'll send you the Discord invite link and give you directions to follow me on Twitter. And again, I do have tutorials teaching you how to create these charts. This is a method I came up with, and I do have stocks as well. But guys, that's it. Till the next video, trade safe.